Mr. Blue Eyes, and today I'm gonna show you my updated deck profile of the Winged Dragon of Ra, boasting the Mace of Masters. Because of course there is one particular card has come out in that box for the Winged Dragon of Ra. So I want to show you that combo and of course that deck profile. So without further ado, let's go. Well, first of all we'll start with 2 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra. Requires 3 tributes to normal summon. Is normal summon cannot be negated, and of course if this card is normal summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. If this card is normal summoned, you can pay life points until you only have 100 left, and of course this card gains attack and defense equal to that life points you paid. And of course its other effects, you can pay 1000 life points, then target one monster on the field and destroy this card. Of course you cannot special summon this card, but luckily for us, with the new spell cards, of course, for the Winged Dragon of Ra, you can. Then we have 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra, the Sphere mode. Cannot be special summoned, requires 3 tributes from either side of the field, and normal summon to that side on the field. And of course, then shift control to its owner during the end phase of the next turn. This card, of course, cannot attack, and your opponent cannot target this card for attacks or by card effects. And of course his handy effect of course is you contribute this card special summon 1 the Winged Dragon of Ra from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning condition, and if you do, its attack and defense become 4000. Then we have 1 copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra, Immortal Phoenix. Also cannot be normal summoned, must be special summoned by its own effect. If the Winged Dragon of Ra is sent from the field to your graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, special summon this card. Cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this effect activation. This card is unaffected by other card effects, and you can pay 1000 life points and send 1 monster on the field to the graveyard. And of course, once per turn during the end phase, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 the Winged Dragon of Ra. Sphere mode from your hand, deck, or graveyard, ignoring its summoning condition. This card I have for fun, but can be handy sometimes because it has 4000 attack. And is of course 1 copy of Obelisk the Tormentor. Also his summoning cannot be negated, of course. And of course when normal summoned, cards and effect cannot be activated. And personally I think what is the best effect of all the 3 guard cards is this one. It cannot be targeted by spell traps or card effects. And of course if this card was special summoned, you must send it to the graveyard at the end of the turn. And its last effect of course is you contribute 2 monsters, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. But this card cannot attack the turn you activate that effect. Now we have 3 copies of Guardian's Light. If you take battle or effect damage, you can special summon this card from your hand. And of course, during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent monster, you can make this card gain defense equal to that monster's attack. But of course, the most handy effect is, of course, if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can add 1 spell trap from your deck to your hand and specifically list the Winged Dragon of Ra. Then we have 3 copies of Reactor's Line. During your main phase, you can activate this effect, special summon 2 slime tokens, and also you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except of course the gods. And during the battle phase, quick effect, you can tribute this card set 1 metal reflex slime from your hand, deck, or graveyard to the field, and it can be activated this turn, so that can be very handy. Now we have 2 copies of Ice Jade Tremor. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and special summon 1 water monster from your hand. And last but not least, a very handy card. Now we have 3 copies of Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. And why? Because it has the effect during either turn except the end phase. Quick effect, you can discard this card, apply this effect this turn. And the effect will be each time your opponent special summons an effect monster during the main or battle phase, you can gain life points equal to that monster attack. If you did not gain life points by this effect, your life points are halved. during the end phase. So that can be the downside, but still it's a very handy card in the Winged Dragon of Ra deck. So that were the monsters. Now we go on to the spells. Well, first of all, we have 3 copies of the True Sun God. When this card is activated, you can add 1 The Winged Dragon of Ra or 1 card mentioned from your deck to your hand, except of course the True Sun God. The Winged Dragon of Ra cannot attack the turn they are special summoned, so that can be a downside, but once per turn, during your main phase, you can send this card from the field or 1 The Winged Dragon of Ra monster from your deck to the graveyard. So that can be handy, of course. And then send 1 Winged Dragon of Ra from your monster zone to the graveyard. Of course, to special summon the Phoenix mode. Now we have 2 copies of Ancient Chant. Add 1 The Winged Dragon of Ra from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if you do, you can tribute summon 1 monster during your main phase this turn in addition to your normal summon. And of course you can banish this card to the graveyard, and the Winged Dragon of Ra gains the original attack and defense of the combined monsters you tributed. So that can be handy, of course. Then we have 2 copies of Soul Crossing to take the monsters from your opponent to summon the Winged Dragon of Ra, or in my deck of course, maybe for Obelisk. So that can be handy. The only downside is if you activate Soul Crossing, you can only activate 1 card or effect per turn. So that can be a little downside, but still, if you want to bully your opponent, this is a very handy card. And here is a new card from Miss&Mr. And it is 2 copies of Dangers of the Divine. Quick play spell card, and then you has the effect: pay half your life points and tribute 1 monster, special summon 1 The Winged Dragon of Ra from your hand, or banishment ignoring its summoning condition, and make its attack and defense 4000. But it cannot attack, and also during the end phase of the next turn, return it to the hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, choose 1 The Winged Dragon of Ra in your monster zone and send all other monsters on the field to the graveyard. So also a mini Regeki. Then we have 1 copy of Millennium Revelation. You can send 1 Divine Beast monster from your hand to the graveyard and add 1 monster reborn from your deck or graveyard to your hand. This card you can send to the graveyard, and then you can special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra from your graveyard with monster reborn ignoring its summoning condition. But of course, during the end phase of a turn this effect is activated, you must send the Winged Dragon of Ra back to the grave. Then we have 1 copy of Blaze Cannon. You can target 1 Winged Dragon of Ra, of course, and that monster gains the following effect. This card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects, and when an attack is declared involving this card, you contribute any number of other monsters that did not declare an attack zone, and this card gains attack equal to the tributed monster's combined original attack until the end of the turn. And after damage calculation, if this card attack, you can send all monsters your opponent controls to the graveyard. Then we have 1 copy of Harpy Feather Duster to destroy the spells and traps from your opponent. And of course, 1 monster reborn to bring back the Winged Dragon of Ra. And 1 copy of Called by the Grave to counter your opponent. Then we have also a few traps. That is 2 copies of Metal Reflex Slime. So you have always a backup monster, of course. 2 copies of Ice Barrier to counter your opponent's monsters and makes that attack 0. So, of course, with the ultimate goal to destroy with the Winged Dragon of Ra your opponent in 1 turn. And then we have 1 Sun God Unification, and it has the effect: if you control a monster whose original name was the Winged Dragon of Ra, you can activate this card the turn it was set. During the main phase, you can pay life points so that you only have 100 left. And 1 special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra you control gains attack and defense equal to the amount of life points paid, even if this card leaves the field. And of course, once per turn, you contribute 1 the Winged Dragon of Ra and gain life points equal to its attack on the field. But you cannot activate both effects. Then we have 2 copies of infinite imperance to counter. And of course, last but not least, one evenly match. Because at the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your opponent banish cards from their field face down, so they control the same number of cards as you do. If you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. Because most of the time you only have the Winged Dragon around the field, so your opponent must go down to 2. So that was the main deck. Now we go on to the extra deck. For the extra deck we do not use much monster, of course, because most of the time you want to win with the Winged Dragon of Ra, but still we have 3 copies, of course, of the Egyptian Gods line. Because it's a very handy card, of course, because it asks 1 Aqua monster plus 1 level 10 water monster. Must first be either fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by tributing 1 level 10 Aqua monster with 0 attack. And then this card can be treated as 1 or 3 tributes for the tribute summon of a monster. Cannot be destroyed in battle, and your opponent monsters cannot target for attacks, and your opponent cannot target for effects other monsters you control, except of course Egyptian Gods line. Then we have 2 copies of Super Dreadnought Real Cannon Gustav Max. Once per turn you can detach 1 material from this card and inflict 2000 damage to your opponent. So that can be handy if you want to end your opponent. Then we have 1 copy of number 81 Super Dreadnought Real Cannon Super Dora. Just in case, if it's, of course you're gonna play more this one, but it can be handy sometimes. And of course we have 1 copy of Super Dreadnought Real Cannon Juggernaut Liebe. If you want to finish your opponent with this card, of course. And last but not least, number 35, reference Tarantula. And why? Because all monsters you control gain attack and defense equal to the difference between your life points and your opponent's. Well, most of the case you have 100, so that can make the really difference. And of course, while this card has XYZ material, each time your opponent special summon a monster, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. Destroy all face-up monsters your opponent control with attack less than or equal to this card. So, that was the extra deck. Now I will show you our combo. So, we shuffle our deck. Let's see what we get. We got Dangers of Defy, very nice. Icered Tremora, Guardian Slime, evenly matched, nice. And the True Sun God, very handy. Well, first of all, we're going to activate the True Sun God to add the Winged Dragon of Ra to your hand. Then we send Icered Tremora to the grave. Special summon Guardian Slime. Then we activate the Dangers of the Divine. Tribute 1 monster, Guardian Slime, go away. To special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra. Of course, the Winged Dragon of Ra becomes 4000. Do not forget you have to pay half your life points. So you have still only the evenly match in your hands. And of course, if this card leaves the field, you can send all other monsters to the grave, except of course the Winged Dragon of Ra. Thanks to the effect of Guardian Slime, you can add an Ancient Chant. Then we do the effect of True Sun God to send the Immortal Phoenix also to the grave. And of course you have to target this Winged Dragon of Ra, so the Immortal Phoenix comes on the field. And of course, after the end turn we get another Swear Mode. And then we also activate Ancient Chant to get back the Winged Dragon of Ra we had sent to the graveyard back to our hand. And of course we set evenly match just in case for protection. Then if we go to the end phase, the Immortal Phoenix will go away. So you have a Winged Dragon of Ra Swear Mode on the field. So that was the combo. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe and comment. And I will see you soon again. Bye bye.